Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a Q&A. It's been, I think, almost a year since I did my last Q&A, so I felt like it was time to do an updated Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me any questions that you have. If you don't follow my Instagram, I always have it linked down below and I'll have it on the screen right here. So the first question is from one Fibro, which stands for fibromyalgia, sister, to another: how are you doing? Do you feel more in control now that you have a diagnosis? And then I also got this question, they kind of go together, is have you found any natural suggestions for your body pain, or just how are you doing? Like, how are you doing with having fibromyalgia? So if you guys don't know, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I think it was at the end of summer going into fall. I had been dealing with a lot of these symptoms for, at this point now, it's been 2 years, because the symptoms started rolling in right around after I had Isla, and Isla is turning 2 in like a week and a half, which is crazy. I'm about to have a 2-year-old. I no longer have a baby. The baby phase is over. Since getting a diagnosis, I feel like it hasn't really changed anything for me other than just understanding it better and understanding why certain things happen, and also just being able to like pinpoint how to help myself. Now that I know that I have fibromyalgia, and I also know what can trigger the flare-ups and a lot of the other symptoms, I'm able to sometimes stop it before it happens or just ease the pain. And I've tried many different methods. I know I mentioned that my doctor had prescribed me a medication, and there was a couple different options that I could choose. One of those options was going to be, I think it was an SSRI, I think it's what it stands for. And those can affect your mental. And just because of my past experience with those types of medications, like an antidepressant or anti-anxiety, antipsychotic, any of those kind of medications, I've had horrible experiences with. And this is just my personal experience. This is not how it is for everybody. They did fix some of the issues, you know, that I was dealing with, but they also brought a great deal of other issues, and it's just not something that I wanted to do. So I knew, you know, with my fibromyalgia diagnosis, I didn't want to take one of those medications, although I know that they can really help people with fibromyalgia. I wanted to try other alternatives first. So you guys know I do, you know, Motrin if I'm absolutely desperate, or the anti-inflammatory that I was prescribed to. But I will tell you guys, I have not taken Motrin for my fibromyalgia pain in months. The only time I take Motrin is if I have really, really bad period cramps. And let me tell you why. I have found the most life-changing medicine. I always try to find a natural route to everything before going straight into like the hardcore, you know, medications. Something that I have dabbled into, Delta 8 or Delta 9, which is THC, and it's a legal limit of it. So about like a year ago, I want to say it was right after I stopped breastfeeding Isla, is when I tried my first Delta 8 gummies. And I didn't really do them that often. I just did them like on the weekends sometimes, and they were great. But, you know, since my symptoms had gotten worse and I was in a lot of pain, miserable, like it was to the point where I could not function. I was having a really hard time functioning every day just because of how much pain I was having. Like, it wasn't even just the pain. You guys know I get the joint pain and the flare-ups. It really messes with my mood. It messes with my sleep. I had horrible insomnia. I could never sleep at night. I would toss and turn from the pain. So many more symptoms. If you want to know more about like the symptoms that I was having, you can go back to my video that was called, I think, Getting a Diagnosis or something like that, and I talk more, you know, in detail about my specific symptoms that I have with fibromyalgia. Delta 8 has legitimately changed my life. Like, it's seriously changed my life. So I have been using these gummies from Mood, and Mood is actually sponsoring today's video, so thank you so much to them. These are Mood's 50 milligram THC gummies, and they also have 50 milligrams of CBD in them. And all of the Delta 8 and Delta 9 Mood products are 100% legal, so you don't have to worry about any laws or any issues there. All of this stuff is 100% legal. I started using these as a daily pain relief about like right after I had gotten my diagnosis, and I take one of these gummies every single night. It makes me feel normal again. It makes me feel normal. Not only with the body pain, it makes my joint pain legit disappear. Like, it goes away. As soon as I take one of these and it kicks in, it goes away. I do not overthink. I no longer have stress. I no longer have anxiety. I have a clear head. That is crazy for me because my mind is always on 1,000. I'm a very stressed and anxious person. I get overwhelmed, overstimulated so easily. This takes that completely away from me. I'm able to focus better. I'm almost positive I'm undiagnosed ADHD. I've gotten a different diagnosis as a child, and I'm pretty sure I was just misdiagnosed. So I feel like I most likely do have ADHD, and I can actually focus when I take these. It allows me to focus and get a lot of things done. Although it does relax me and make me feel super like calm, I also am able to get a lot of things done and be very productive if I want to. It also has helped tremendously with my sleep. That was a main issue that I was having, and sleep is so important and it really affects the way that we feel. With these, I am able to actually go into a deep sleep. I enter REM sleep, okay? And I don't know the last time that I was able to enter that. Like, I was never entering that, and that's horrible for your body. I would fall asleep and I would wake up shortly after because I was in pain or I was stressed or I was anxious. Like, I could never ever sleep at night. And when I take these gummies, I'm telling you guys, I can sleep all night. I close my eyes. I don't wake up once unless one of the kids wakes up. Obviously, I wake up for that. But other than that, if nothing is like waking me up, I sleep all night. I wake up in the morning and I feel amazing. Okay, before I started taking these gummies, I would wake up and my bones, my joints, everything was so stiff. If you have fibromyalgia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I was in so much pain every morning. It would take me at least an hour or so before I could start going because I was just in so much pain. I normally would have to take like medicine and put a heating pack on. And sometimes I still, do every now and then. But like 95% of the time, I wake up in the morning, I can just hop out of bed because my body was able to relax all night because of these gummies. They've also tremendously helped my mood, which is kind of ironic because they're called mood, but they have really helped my mood. Like I said, I was having a lot of mood issues. Like, I was super moody all the time. I would be super depressed for like a few weeks, and then I would be super uppity, and then I'd be super anxious. But these keep me at like a straight level at all times. My mood is not really all over the place. Like, I'm a solid straight line, and let me tell you, it feels amazing because pretty much my whole life I've always been like this, and I know a lot of women are because we have a lot of hormones that make us do that, but I have been riding a straight line, baby, and it feels so good. I feel so much more healthier. I feel so much more level-headed. I get the sleep that I need. My body is not in excruciating pain. Do I still have pain? Yes, but I can function now. Like, it's not getting in the way of my life, and I love these. They are my best friend. I'm about to run all out of them, so I got another pack. These are the tropical fruit mix, and then I also wanted to try out these edibles that they have. So I got some of the Fruity Crisp cereal treat. These ones have 160 milligrams of the Delta 9 THC and 160 milligrams of the CBD. And then I also got this chocolate crunch, which these have a little bit less. These are 40 milligrams of THC and CBD. Also, the ingredients in them are great. They only have 2 grams of added sugar. There's no dyes or anything like that. So really good ingredients in these. And this is definitely an amazing natural pain reliever and just overall like life changer for me. I don't get like high per se. I don't want to say that. I just get super relaxed. For me, it's more so I'm like super relaxed, just level-headed. All those negative things are gone. I'm more productive. I'm more focused. Like, that's how it is for me. For some people, it can be different. THC affects everybody differently, but personally for me, that's what it does to me. I want to mention that I do take these every single night, like after the kids are asleep, and then I go to sleep, and these do such a good job for me. The effects of it last basically 24 hours till the next night. So I get the effects from this into the night and throughout the whole entire day, which is amazing. It's made me be way more patient with my children. I have a lot more patience now. I'm a lot more calm. Like I said, my mood is very leveled out. I know this isn't for everyone, and that's okay, but it has really worked for me. That's the point here, is personally, like, it's changed my life, like I said, and it's been such a relief for me. If you guys have ever wanted to try them out, or you already do and you want to try different ones, you guys can actually get a free pack of gummies with my code OliviaGummy, and you'll get a free pack of the 15 milligram Delta 9 THC gummies, and see for yourself how it can literally be life-changing for some people. Like I said though, it affects everyone differently. If you try them out, let me know how it goes. You guys can click the link down below in my description to check out Mood's website and get your free gummies. And also, if anything else catches your eye on their site, I do have another coupon code which will get you 20% off, and that is Olivia20. I got a lot of questions about the wedding. When is the wedding? Or will I share wedding details or stuff like that? So we have been engaged. My ring slides around on my finger so much, but we have been engaged for over a year now, and we have not talked about wedding at all. And that's fine, because I knew that we weren't going to be getting married anytime soon. It's just not something that we're rushing. We don't really like care that much. Honestly, one of the main reasons that we are going to get married is for like legal reasons, like insurance purposes, stuff like that, because it really doesn't matter. Like the piece of paper doesn't matter that much to us. And that's one of the reasons why we weren't engaged for so long. You know, we're going to be together 6 years this July. And I don't know. I have no idea when we'll have a wedding. It's not a priority, but when it is, I will for sure share it with you guys. This question is more kids. So I've mentioned this several times before, but no, we only ever wanted 3 kids, and we got our 3 girls, and we're very happy with that. I'm actually thinking I'm going to get my tubes tied. Like, I'm 99% sure. Patrick was actually gonna get a vasectomy, but he had changed his mind, which is perfectly fine because it's his body, it's his choice. He can, you know, make that choice. And I knew when I was pregnant with Isla that she would be our last baby. And then after I had her, I was like, yeah, for sure, not ever doing that again. And then now that she's 2, we are completely out of the baby phase. I'm like, yeah, we're closing this chapter. I am so ready to close this chapter in my life. I do not want to fear getting pregnant anymore. Although we do take precautions, you know, there's still whoopsies, and there's always a chance, you know, if you're doing it, there's always a chance that you could get pregnant. So I don't want it to be a possibility that I could ever get pregnant again. Like, I don't want any more children. I know that for a fact. I know that in 10 years, I don't want any more children. That was a thought for a little bit. I was like, well, I know I don't want any now, but what if I want some in 10 years? But I'm like, no, because in 10 years I'm still gonna have my 3 kids, and I want to focus on the 3 kids. Like, we want to focus on the kids we have now. We don't want to add more. I know that I cannot have more than 3 children. I can't. I'm already at my max, okay? And I think this is something that a lot of people need to think about before they just reproduce. Like, think about the kids that you already have. That's what I'm doing. I'm thinking I want to focus on them. I could not add another child. So like, that's why I'm so sure that I don't want any more kids. And that's why I think I'm going to be getting my tubes tied here soon, if I can, before my insurance runs out. I don't know. It's like kind of a last minute thing where I'm like, oh crap, I'm about to lose my really good insurance. So I should probably do this before that ends. So we'll see. I have an appointment actually this Monday. So we'll see. And I'll update you guys on that, I guess, if I end up doing that. And I'll probably, you know, take you guys through the process of that, because I know a lot of you guys are women and a lot of you guys are mothers, and that might be something that you're considering either soon or in your future. And I know that it would be helpful to a lot of people. So if you have gotten your tubes either tied or removed, let me know how that went for you. Let me know if you had any side effects. I have been researching a lot, and obviously I still have to talk to my doctor about it, but just let me know in the comments how that went for you. This one says, do you see yourself moving or staying in your current house? So I have mentioned this before, but I would love to move someday, because I do want the girls to all have their own space. It's possible in this house, but it would just be a lot of work and a lot of money. But it just doesn't make sense to move right now. You know, the price of everything. We could not find a house that would be better than this house, and either the same or less for what we pay for this house right now. Like, it couldn't happen, and we couldn't even make it happen if we wanted to. We could make money off of this house, but we would be getting a less nice house probably, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. I have no idea what the future holds. If there was ever a time where we could financially do it and it would make sense, and we could get a house, you know, with some more bedrooms and maybe a little bit of a different situation, like more land, stuff like that, I mentioned it before, then we would do it. But as of right now, you know, our house is perfect for us, and it will be for many more years. And if we absolutely need to make a 4th bedroom, then we will. But right now with the kids being young, it's not like a huge concern or anything like that. So we will probably be in this house for, I don't know, probably for a few more years. I don't know. It's hard to tell with the way the world is right now. This question says, do you like your channel better without showing your kids as much? And then I also got questions about why I don't show the kids, or will I ever show the kids again? Stuff like that, like when they get older. Why I don't show the kids, I want to give them privacy, and I've realized the dangers of sharing your children on the internet. I once upon a time just didn't know. Like, I was oblivious to a lot of the things, and then once I like realized, and once I started seeing different things, I was like, yeah, I need to get my kids off the internet. The internet is such a dangerous place, especially for children, and my children do not belong on the internet. At least their faces don't. Their identity does not belong on the internet, and the internet is only getting worse. It's only getting scarier. So I probably will never show their faces again. You guys see them like passing in the backgrounds of my videos, or, you know, like from behind the back of their head or something like that. But I don't like show their faces. I don't really talk about any personal details with the kids or anything like that anymore. And it's just because I gotta give them privacy. It's my job as their parent to protect them, and I would not be protecting them if I was just showing them to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Do I like my channel better now? It's not that I like it better, but I do feel more good about it. I feel more comfortable. I don't feel stressed. I don't have a bunch of strangers like commenting on my children, or strangers having parasocial relationships with my children. That is another thing about the internet. Parasocial relationships. I have looked into it, and I've like did a little bit of research on it, and that's one of the main reasons, you know, why I took them off, because it's just scary. Like, it's scary. Parasocial relationships in general are kind of scary, but like when you involve children in it, that's really scary. Strangers should not know as much as some people do know about other people's children. And then we can talk about just people in general. Like, you shouldn't know certain things about people. Like, I know that I share certain things, but I don't share everything on the internet. Like, there's definitely things that I keep private, and I've always kept private, and there is a reason for that. That's just what's safest for my children. Everyone else has their own choice, but for my children, you know, that's what I feel is safest. And I got in questions like, what if they want to be, or what if they ask to be? And I've sat down with them, and I've explained to them why they cannot be in my videos, and I've explained to them why the internet is not safe for them. And they know that. Like, sometimes Graceland will want to be in my videos, but she'll be like, oh mom, let me like show this, but don't show my face. And I was like, yes, queen, like, you get it. You get it. There's so many more reasons why I just will not sit here in this video, because I could talk and talk and talk for hours. But the main reason is obviously because they deserve privacy, and it's my job to protect them as a parent. And so I will protect them. I get this question a lot, and I don't think I've ever addressed it on a video. I have in the comments, but the question is, what happened between you and Abby, or are you friends with Abby? So if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you know that me and Abby from her channel, I think it's still called Life is a Mommy, we were really good friends at one point. She was a great friend to me. We had a great friendship. Those were very special times in my life, like when me and her were friends, and when I went to visit her and all of that. But the simple answer to it is that we just grew apart. Friendships grow apart all the time, whether it's on the internet or in real life. There's no beef, there was no fight or drama or anything like that. We just simply grew apart. When we met, we were at very specific times in her life. Like, I was a single teen mom who just started my YouTube channel, and she was a married military wife, but her, you know, her husband was gone a lot, and she didn't have any family around, and she had a baby of a similar age, and, you know, we both breastfed. We had a lot of similarities, and we just bonded and clicked over that. I always wish her well, and like I said, she was a really great friend to me, and it was a great friendship. Two questions that kind of go together is, do you still find YouTube worth it as a source of income? I feel like it's not as popular, and I feel like these go together. Do you plan to go to school/college? So YouTube is still worth it. Yes, I still make an income off of YouTube. Do I make as much as I used to? No. And I feel like that's obvious. YouTube in general just doesn't get as many views, obviously, because of the big boy TikTok. You know, TikTok is where it's at. That's where a lot of people consume their content. I just cannot get into TikTok, you guys. I don't know. I'm very old school, and when I find something and I like it, I stick with it. So it's like really hard for me to want to make TikTok content. Let me know if you guys would want me to. Maybe I could try. I don't know. I already get overwhelmed with YouTube, so like trying to add TikTok would probably be a lot for me. Nobody gets as much views as they used to. It's not just me, it's like every single YouTuber out there. If you compare their views now to their views like 3-5 years ago, it's a huge difference. Back in the day, I had thousands and thousands of extra dollars a month. Like, I'm not kidding. Thousands of extra dollars a month. Do I have that now? No. But do I still make enough money to have it be my income and, you know, live comfortably? Yes. And also, Patrick works. He has always worked. That's one thing that we never did, that I never agree on when people do, is when like their husbands quit their jobs for social media. I'm not judging them, but I do think it's a bad decision, because you got to have some stability somewhere, and social media is never truly like stable, so you need to have something to fall back on. Although it has been an income for me for over like 6 years now, and I've been able to get so many things with it and have so many opportunities. Like, I bought a freaking house, I bought many new cars, I have money to raise 3 children, you know, like just live the life that I do. It still can be scary, and some months are better than others, you know, but Patrick does work, so we have his income too. And then, do you plan to go to school / college? So I don't. School has never been for me, okay? I hated school my whole life, and when I got out of high school, I was like, thank God I never have to do that again. Maybe I would in the future. I really don't know what the future holds, but I don't see myself going to school. I see myself being self-employed for the rest of my life, either starting my own business. I have a few ideas, but I don't want to say them until I get to that point. And that will be when the girls are like older and in school, and I have time to actually like run a actual business. I won't be sharing any details like that until I get there and probably get it settled and actually started and am successful in it. This question says, how do you feel with Gracelyn turning 8 soon and with your other girls getting older? So it's bittersweet, honestly. It's crazy that Gracelyn is gonna be 8. She's so much like me when I was a kid. We have very similar personalities, but just having all of my kids grow up and like seeing them have their own little personalities and getting to know more about them, you know, when they're like little toddlers, it's just, you like feed them, you keep them happy, you try to play with them, and then when they get older, like they develop these personalities, and it's just so much more fun. Like, obviously it's fun when they're babies, but it's also fun when they get older too. So it's definitely bittersweet, but I am looking forward to this like phase of my life where I have kids instead of like babies and toddlers. It makes me excited too, because like I said, like closing the baby, having babies, breastfeeding, all of that chapter, I feel like it goes along with it. And I feel like I've entered in this new kind of chapter in my life with just having older kids. It feels good. Like, it feels really good. I've never felt so sure about something, you know? I spent the last 7 years of my life giving away my body, like sacrificing my body and my mind, because that's what pregnancy and breastfeeding and postpartum does to you. And it was a great journey, you know? There were struggles, there were pros and cons, but looking back, I'm glad that I had my kids when I did. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to have all of my 3 kids that I wanted before I was 30. I'm about to turn 26 here soon. So, you know, I got that done a lot earlier. It's never something that I struggled with. I'm very thankful I had amazing fertility. And I think about, you know, how lucky I am to have healthy and happy children. And yeah. This one says, do you ever feel like you need to buy the best brands or anything because you're on social media? So actually, I feel the opposite of that. I will never be like that, and I've never been like that. I will never be materialistic. I don't usually buy brand items. You guys know that. I shop at Walmart. Like, I get my clothes from Walmart. I buy my kids' clothes from Walmart. I buy thrifted things sometimes. I am not a huge brand person. Do I have some brand stuff? Yes, but that's not important to me. I'm just trying to find a good deal, honestly. That's what I'm about. I'm about a good deal and saving money. So no, I actually feel the opposite, and I actually feel the need to like shout it out. I don't have, you know, super fancy things. Like I drive a red minivan. Could I drive a like white Tahoe like some of those other people? Sure. Do I want to spend $900 on a car payment every month? No, I would rather spend the, well, it's almost $400 on this car a month, but just because of the way it makes me look and the social status, I don't care. I don't care about that, and I've never cared about that. What's more important to me is that it's functional and it's affordable and it saves me money. And I want other people to know that that's okay, and that's perfectly fine if you want to live your life like that. And I feel like nowadays, with the mass amount of influencers on the internet, specifically TikTok, it can be so toxic sometimes. Because you go on there and you feel like your life is such like crap compared to these other people. But I think a lot of it is a front. Like a lot of it is a front. Most of these people probably are in credit card debt. Most of these people probably do like put this stuff in their cart and then return it. I mean, that's just how it is. Some of these people do make that much money to go spend it. But I mean, even if I did, and even when I was, you know, making a lot more money, I wasn't doing that anyways. And I never would do that because that's just throwing money down the drain. I feel like at one point in my videos, I did get a little bit like stuck in the clouds. Like I had my heads in the cloud with the fame, and I don't know, I don't want to call it fame, but just like the attention and the money. And it can really change a person. But I'm glad that I saw through that and I got out of that, and I didn't let that like change me completely and take over my whole entire life and make me a certain way. Like I realized at one point, like certain things that I didn't like was happening to me, or certain things that I was doing, and I stopped it and I changed it because I was like, yeah, this isn't right. As a like content creator that's been doing this for 7 years now, and seeing these like new influencers and the things that they do, it hurts to see that, because I know what they're doing. I know what's going through their mind, and I feel bad almost in a way. I'm like, please don't get your head stuck in the clouds. Like, you gotta keep yourself in line. You gotta keep yourself in check. Like, you need to stay humble. Do you ever see yourself living outside of Ohio? So Patrick would love to move out of the state. He's mentioned it several times, but I don't think I could be away from my family if I ever need anything. Like, my parents are always there for me. My sisters are always there for me. And so, you know, we're all there for each other. So I wouldn't want to be away from them either, because I wouldn't want to miss out on like my nieces and nephews' life. And I want to be close to my parents. Like, my parents are getting older. That's so sad. I don't want to cry, but they're getting older, and I wouldn't want to be away from them. Like, I want to be by family. This question is a good one. It says, being so young, how do you manage all your bills on top of your children's needs? So I have always had a budget. Like, I've always been a budget queen. Even when I was making, you know, a lot more money than I ever needed, I still had a budget. I actually keep it in my notes. My notes on my phone is my life. Like, it's how I keep my entire life together, is on my notes. I'm gonna read you guys my notes right now. I have a grocery list, I have a meals list, I have a to get list, I have my budget, I have recipes, I have a tackle to do list, I have gifts to get people. Gifts to get. Just ideas that pop in my head that I'm like, let me write that down if I ever need to get this person a gift. I have a sponsor list of all my sponsors. I have a future tackle to do list. A future one on top of my already tackled to-do list, okay? Things to get when I have extra money. I have a pros and cons list of something. I have my tax write-offs. I have a whole bunch of stuff in my notes. But anyways, I keep like a budget every month, a spreadsheet where I track everything. It's kind of like in the olden days. People still do this, but it's very rare, where people had checkbooks and they would write down in their checkbooks, you know, the balance, and if they would spend, how much they would have left. So it's kind of like that. It just helps me be able to actually see exactly how much I'm spending every month. And I know that a lot of bank apps can do this. I don't like doing it like that. I feel like it's not accurate. I feel like when I can actually look at it and see what store I spent and how much I spent and what it was for, it helps. I make a budget every month. This month, January, I have groceries. I have household. So that's things like toilet paper, toothpaste, paper towels, cleaning supplies, that kind of stuff. Gas. Eating out is one, because, you know, we got to eat out sometimes, and then extra. Extra is everything else that I didn't mention. I have certain amounts for each of those. So groceries is about lately $600 a month. Household is about $200 to $300. It can be anywhere between that because some months we need like diapers and then some months we don't, and it just, you know, those things cost a little bit more money. Gas, I try to stay around $100 a month. Eating out, I try to stay around $200 a month, and then extra, I try to stay around $200. And then obviously on top of all those other things, there's bills. So like add bills to that as well. But those are things that like need to be paid. It's not things that maybe we could buy less of or not buy them at all that month. Like, no, we have to pay the bills. So like add bills on top of that. And that is the budget. For me personally, it just helps to keep track of everything and have a set number every month that I want to spend, and try not to go over that with those extra things that aren't bills. And then if I do have any money that's like left over, I will put it into savings. Patrick is a way better saver than me nowadays. I struggle with saving. I used to be so good about it, but I'm not that great of a saver. I think it's just because there's so many things that I want to do that when I have the money to do it, I'm gonna do it. I also try to save money where I can, so I don't buy certain things anymore. I don't go shopping anymore that much. Like I used to shop a lot. I used to buy a lot of crap. I've really like minimalized my life within the past couple years. I don't just buy stuff because it's a good deal, or I don't just go and shop for fun. Like if I'm going shopping, there's a reason. It's because I need it. I only buy things I absolutely need nowadays. Sometimes I'll get stuff that I want, but it's not the way I used to. Like I literally used to drop like $1,000 a month probably on just like random crap. Just random crap that I wanted to get, just, you know, for giggles. That's another thing I realized about myself, something that was really toxic and just like it was just not a good idea to do that. So I'm glad that I stopped myself there, and I really try to just like stick to a budget and only get the stuff that we absolutely need. And then, you know, sometimes I will get stuff that I want. She said, hi, I really like your videos. Thank you. And she said, what is your favorite coffee order? So most of the time, if I'm going anywhere, which is mostly Dunkin' or Starbucks, because that's all that there is around here, unless I go to a local shop, which doesn't happen that much. I need to do that more. That's something I want to start doing more, shopping local. When I get coffee, I usually get an iced caramel macchiato. That's like my go-to order. That is the only drink I find that actually tastes strong enough for me, but it also has a good amount of like sweetness and cream to it. Anyways, that is going to be it for this video. It's probably very long, but it was a good Q&A. I feel like I got a lot of stuff out that I haven't really talked about, or maybe just stuff that I haven't updated on in a while. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything like more into detail. I love to talk. I can sit down and talk. If you guys want me to make videos where I just sit down and talk, I could do that. That's easy for me. But yeah, let me know any video ideas too. If you guys want me to do any video ideas, or if you guys want me to talk about something specifically, let me know, and I will, you know, always take your guys' suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.